I went to Europe to meet what they call the G7, and then with NATO, and then with the EU. And I promised that the United States, the remainder of this year and the first half of next year, is going to provide 1 billion doses to the rest of the world. 1 billion doses. $500 million of those will be done between now and January and the first half of next year. Point being, I wanted the nation to reflect what you all reflect. Everyone in this room, there's everything. I want to thank you for all you're doing. But the rest of the world is in trouble as well. We have to look out for one another. We really do. And what you're doing here, go back to the United States, nonprofits directing folks to where to go, houses of worship opening on-site vaccination for congregants. My friend Reverend Barber is here, as I said, had countless faith leaders who are truly doing God's work. College students providing rides for seniors. It's what's happening in America. It's what America is all about. That's what the rest of the world is looking at. Are we what we advertise ourselves to be? Because of people like you here in Raleigh and communities across America, we're going to win this fight. Look at the progress we've made so far. Today, 66% of all American adults have gotten at least one shot. That includes 87% of all seniors, of all colors. 75% of adults ages 40 and up have gotten a shot, and 70% of those aged 30 and up. Nationwide, we're seeing the lowest number of daily cases and deaths since the first day of the pandemic. And we've built equity into the heart of the vaccination program. I put together a vaccination team headed by a really bright guy. We put together a group of 23 doctors. And what they did was we had one doc who does nothing but deal with equity, access for people. There's a reason why it's been harder to get African Americans initially to get vaccinated, because they're used to being experimented on. The Tuskegee Airmen and others. People have memories. People have long memories. It's awful hard as well to get Latinx vaccinated as well. Why? They're worried that they'll be vaccinated and deported. So look, from day one, something that Governor Cooper has been totally focused on is making sure we get as many people vaccinated, particularly people who don't have access to health care usually, who don't have doctors, family physicians, et cetera. 73% of the shots administered at community health centers through the federal program we have, and more than 58% of the shots administered in federally run vaccination sites have gone to people of color. It makes a gigantic difference. And across the nation, people of color have accounted for more than half of all the vaccinations in the last month. The more we close the racial gap in vaccination rates, the more lives we can save. And if I can pause for 1 second, that's why I've called for spending billions of dollars at NIH focusing on new ways to deal with obesity